Alright, let's start from where I stopped last time. Oh yeah, I need to change the day. And today is day 18. Yeah, last one was 17. This is 18. I think so. Okay. Return actually. So what I wanna do is start the stream condition that is a consonant. Which is a vowel actually. Begins with a consonant and the first consonant. A consonant cluster moves to the end of the word. I actually wasn't doing like this. String I is vowel. And make string I into the end of string. String I maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, actually. Split them when it reaches a vowel. So after split, I'm gonna have 3 strings and then I join the other way. That's probably the right way to do it. console log string here. The issue with them is that you should stop. So with 30 might be better. So after I slice, I need to put the word in the end. I'm going to do this. Maybe actually I need to put this in a different variable. String 1. String first. Yeah. And then I join them later. Oh, it doesn't join just for arrays. Method concatenates the string to the client string and the main string. So the first one is the one that first and complex. No, the issue is that I don't have the other string, right? So the issue is I have the first but I don't have the second one. Maybe you should choose license. Instead of the T. Doesn't recognize I. Recognize. Yeah, the first one is also modified. Slice doesn't work. I don't know why.
Arrays have two methods that are easy to mix up, or at least I have mixed them up in the past, and they are slice and splice. Today's tutorial was prompted by a comment on another tutorial, so we're going to look at these two methods. Although slice and splice sound very similar, and hence the reason I mixed them up in the past, they are very distinct. Let me identify what each method does, and we'll look at some examples. So first, let's take a look at slice. Now, slice returns a portion of the array as a second array. So really, it's taking a sub-array from the array we invoke it on, and it returns it as a second array. It does not modify the array it is invoked on. And this is very different from splice. Slice doesn't modify the array we're working with, and that's an important distinction between these two methods. The first argument for slice specifies the starting element. 0 marks the first element, 1 the second element, and so on. So the first argument specifies the starting element of those we want to extract. The second argument specifies the ending argument. So that identifies which elements we want to extract.
Maybe if I transform them into an array before the thing. Consonant, consonant. Now let's try this. Splice changes the array, right? And slice doesn't. So why it doesn't work when I do it inside the loop? It's what I don't understand. It should be I equals 1 here. When it reaches the point where consonant is O, which is a vowel. And then at that point should be string.slice 1. But here it doesn't show. It doesn't slice.
Extract and put into the second array. Now remember, it doesn't remove them. It doesn't modify that array. It just takes those elements and creates a second array out of them. And finally, the second argument is optional. So if we don't include the second argument, basically what it means is go to the end of the array. So it'll start at the element we specify and extract to the end of the array. All right, let's look at some examples before we talk about splice. Here's our array that we're going to be working with. Let's just do a simple example first. I'm going to declare another variable. This is where the subset array will be placed. And I'm going to do arr.slice. I'm taking a slice of this array. That's now how I remember it, so I don't mix them up. Taking a slice of the ARR array, and I'm going to begin with the first element, and I'm going to extract up to, but not including, element number 2. Now that's an important thing to remember. Up to, but not including. So we're starting here. We're going to extract 0, 1, and stop. Let's take a look at that.
It doesn't take the I argument. I don't know why.
I'm going to refresh, open the console, and let's look at ARR1. And see, we have 1 and 2. We have both of those elements. We did not include the third element. Now let's see if it modified the array at all. It did not. It does not modify the array that it is invoked on. All right, another example. Let's do ARR2, set that equal to ARR.slice. And let's start with the third element and extract up to, but not including.
Maybe if I just do slice stuff. Yeah, but then it's not gonna know which point it is.
So what is that going to get? We specify with a 4. This is a distinct difference between slice and splice. And as I mentioned, one reason that some people don't, and that number indicates how array and remove from the original array of the array. It removes those elements. Finally, each additional argument that comes after delete, those arguments are inserted into the array, and they're inserted at the start. So let's look at what happens there. Refresh and open the console. And let's look at ARR1. Remember, what gets returned here is what was deleted. So the 3 and the 4. What happens? So I'm going to save that, come back, refresh. Let's look at ARR2. It's an empty array. Why is there nothing in it? Let's look at ARR. Are you seeing what happened now? Remember this statement here, splice. So let's do that. For our final example, let's look at how we can delete.
So let me scratch that. Maybe I can create an array that pushes the letters up until the point that encounters a vowel. Create a new array outside, push the letters, and then the remaining letters are pushed to another array. Then I join the two arrays outside. Let me try to do this. So I'm gonna keep pushing until it reaches the condition. So I can put outside here. But then it's not gonna work because it's only gonna stop on this condition when it is a vowel. String show. String right. Why is not working this thing? It's pushing everything. I don't understand the logic behind this. Maybe it's not this type of braces. Yeah. Why is pushing everything? That's what I don't understand. Oh yeah, I also need to do caps lock, not only like this, but now it's working. So this is the problem. Maybe we can do a regex. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna work, but I create a variable outside, and then I put it equal to the variable. I'm doing it wrong. No. It should work like this. This just puts a comment on the thing. Maybe it should be in brackets. You just got your rejects. Let me introduce you to. Yeah, I know about this site. We make our life a lot easier with rejects. I know about this site, but I still hate rejects. What I'm trying to do is remember how to write it in the correct way. It is supposed to be like this, but I don't understand why it's not working. Oh, maybe it is working. It's just that I didn't put it. Yeah, there we go. And here has to be inside of this stuff. Or maybe I just put it like. But it has to be in groups, I think. Each of them in groups. And I also think it should be a new rejects instead of that. Yeah, that's another idea. Create an array only with vowels. I think it's more complicated. Okay, so this is the regex I need. Because I want to construct an object or not. New. New regexp. Like this. And then so why is this not working? Yeah, there we go. So I don't think this is the pattern that I need. And maybe I will do it in a different way. Instead of doing like this, I'll do the match or the test. Regex.test main string. There we go. I don't think I need to put this also. This is only gonna push the valves, and that's not what I want. When it reaches this point, I want to return this string. Up until the point. How can I say this? So first here should be return. And then let's see if this works. So the issue if I do this is that it's gonna stop the program. And then it's not gonna read the other lines. It doesn't work. Maybe I'll put this here. And, so this is pushing the O, but I will not push the function. No. So what if I put this after? That should work. Yeah, there we go. So Now I have an array with the two first strings. Now I need to think about how I'm gonna remove this true from the word and put it in the end. Take the first consonant or consonant cluster, move it to the end of the word. And add the H to it. Before it begins with a vowel, just add a H at the end. Yeah, this is another condition which is the easiest one, the easier one. If it begins with a vowel, and then if it doesn't begin with the vowel, it's gonna stop. It's gonna create a string with the consonants, an array with the consonants. So I need to think about how I'm gonna push the other ones into the other array. Maybe we'll create another for loop outside of that one. Because the length of the first array is gonna be the index of the word of the other loop, yeah. So I think I'm gonna do that. No, string that length. So now I'm gonna use the array one length as an index for the array. So if smaller or equal than string of j, I should not push string j. Maybe this works. No. So if R1 length just 1, 2 actually. Maybe it's 1 because it starts with 0. Is smaller than or equal string actually. Yeah. Maybe it's just j here. So you something smaller. Yeah, now I have the two arrays. One with the beginning, one with the end. Now I concatenate them outside. But all of this needs to be in a loop, I think. Oh, actually not, because I can just erase this here. Then final when you choose not concat plus hey. If I just do this, oh, let's put it here. Sure. Now I join. Maybe join is better than concatenate in the first place. No, I need to concat first. Try. Final R is not a function. Why is this not working? So this is giving me a bunch of letters, the concat. Leave a comma, the at them. So maybe I'll join first. Why it doesn't change anything? Let's not join. Maybe if I make it equal. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I think it works. hopefully. I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom. So it's still too good to be true. So the ones that are starting are not working. Oh, because I'm not returning. That's why. Here should be. Why this is not working? Oh, because I'm splitting. That's why. Let me take this console logs out. Yeah. Let me do a string by try. So yeah, so that's what I need to do. String equals string by try. Then this should work. It's still not working. Why is not showing me? Console log. I thought this would be the easiest one. Maybe I'll just take these rejects out. Type else. Now everything fails. Oh yeah, because it's been looping, so. Can I assign this variable outside also? So it doesn't stay on the loop. Yeah. It doesn't change anything. So maybe I'll take this out of the loop. Let's see if still track everything right. So it needs to be before the loops. But that's the problem. I need another formula to indicate the first letter. No, there we go. Finally. I'm happy about this one. Let's replace. So this solution is the same one I did. I'm so confused in this solution.
Baixe o app Meu Carrefour.
I wonder if this is gonna give me a copyright strike.
Adding a WAY to the end, and then if we go all the way through and there are none, then we'll just add the results, right? So right now we're just passing through constant. I've just set this as a result and I'm console logging it. All this is doing is making it so that we can see the results down here. And then yeah, so the first thing we need is the vowels, right? So we're gonna let vowels equal A, E, I, or U. You could do it like this, A, E, I, but yeah, and then I'll just print it here so that you can see it, A, E, I, or U. But there's a better way that I like to do this kind of thing. If you just go A, E, I, O, U, and then you go dot split, and then you split it up that way. It's just a faster way to write it. It's the exact same thing, but that just makes it it's just really fast. So the next thing we want to do is iterate through the string. And so we can use a for loop for that. So we're going to let I equal 0. I is less than the string.length. And then I plus equals 1. Let's console.log the string at I. And so now we're iterating through. We're just C-O-N-S-O. And so now we can say, we can find out whether or not the string is. We could do string I. I'm going to call this, let's call this individual letter. And then, we can console log the individual letter. And so now we know we're working with individual letter. So one thing we could do is yeah, is the individual letter. So if we have our vowels index, you have the VLS dot index of the individual letter. You see we're getting results now. So with consonant, the first letter is C, so it's not a vowel, so we get -1. The second letter is a vowel, so we actually get the position of here. So it's A, E, I, O. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's on the third position, so we know that this is the vowel. So now we know what to do with it. So yeah, this is our conditional statement. It's not a vowel, a vowel, not a vowel, not a vowel, a vowel. And you'll see that matches with consonant. And then once we get to the A up here, the position's at 0 because A is the first element of the vowels array. So what can we do here? Well, we could do a conditional statement here. So if the letter is a vowel, or no, we should say is not equal to -1. So that means it is a vowel, right? Let me put that back into the console log there. So if how can we say that? Is it a vowel? We could say, is it equal to -1? So that's true. That's true. It's saying true. It is a vowel. But we don't want that. We want it to say if it's not a vowel, right? So now we've got it if it's a vowel. So not a vowel, false, a vowel, true. And then false, S is false, O is true. So now we're iterating through and we're checking to see if the letter is a vowel. So if it's a vowel, then, well, if it's a vowel and we're at I is equal to 0, so we're on our first letter, then we've got an example where, this is an example where it starts with an A, right? The word starts with an A. And so what we want to do, if this is the case, I'm just going to slide this over so we can see it a bit better. If the first letter is a vowel, then what we want to do is just return the string plus WOY. So algorithm way. And so algorithm way. So yeah, we run the test. We'll see we pass all the tests in which the first letter of the string is a vowel. Now, this doesn't always go through, right? So the next thing we want to do is handle situations like this first one, California, right? We want it to take the C from there, add it to the end, and add AY, and then have the rest of it there. So let's say we can just use this again. And that means if it is a vowel, but we won't ever get to position 0, so we don't have to deal with that because it's already been handled here. We don't need a semicolon there. Then what we can do is return the string dot slice at I, right? Let's throw one in there. Let's throw California in there so we can see it working. Okay, cool. So now we've returned the string. We've got the California part, but now we need to add California and then CAY. So we can go plus the, oh wait, not there. The string dot slice I plus the string dot slice from the beginning of the string to the I index. So now we've got California with a C, and we want to just throw the AY in at the end. And so we add this AY. Cool, so California case. So now that we're going to test that passes. And then the last situation is where we have a word that doesn't have a vowel in it. So right now we're returning vowels because that was just something I had left over from the code. So we don't need that. What we want to do is return the string plus AY, right? Rhythm AY. Run the test that passes. Okay, cool. Let's look at refactoring this. Here. How can we refactor this? Okay, one thing that we could do to refactor this is we've got a situation where we've got duplicate code here, right? Vowels.index of and then the individual letter. We use this twice. So we could say, we could add in a helper function and we could call this is vowel. And we just pass in a letter. And then so we would do vowels index of individual letter. Instead of that, we could say is vowel and then individual letter. Right now that's not working because we need to handle the situation. So the vowels.index of the letter. And then we just return this. And then instead of having that duplicate code, we could just call this function. And let's see here. We want to handle, let's do the algorithm one because that'll tell us whether or not this is right. Algorithm way. Okay, cool. That one's working. California, working. Nice. So yeah, therefore we handled the situation. We've dried up our code. We had duplicate code here, and we've extracted it to a helper function, which allows us to have cleaner code. It doesn't make a lot of sense in this one because this is such a small program. But once you get into larger programs, it makes sense to have your code be extracted when you have duplicate code like that. Yeah, I would probably have spelled this out, but I think that this is an efficient way to do it. If you wanted to make this more explicit for maybe younger programs, you'd be like A, E, I, O, or U, and that would give you the exact same results, but it's a little bit more explicit. People know exactly what they're doing. There's probably a way to do something tricky with these statements, but I don't really like tricky stuff. I think that this is really explicit. This is an explicit way of writing the program, so that's why we did it this way. And so the tests pass. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
The Gartner top strategic technology trends are trends that organizations can't afford to ignore. These trends will have a
Perform a search and replace on the sentence using the arguments provided in the ternary sentence. Search and replace. So it searches for the before and replaces with the after. First argument is the sentence to perform in search and replace on. Second argument is the word that you will be replaced before. Third argument is what you will be replacing. The second argument. Preserve the case of the first character in the original word when you are replacing it. Preserve the case. Oh. For example, if you mean to replace the word book with the word dog, it should be replaced as dog. So that is the replace method. But it needs to maintain the case. Not gonna pass, but that's the trick here. Trick is preserving the first letter, the case of the first letter. This I'm gonna do this. How do I check the sensitivity of those capitals? I need to convert the sensitivity of the first one. this sign showing? Then you can create any rejects for a purchase. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, but how do I convert to upper? That's the problem. To uppercase. That's the issue here. This is gonna be match. No. Oh, two upper, actually. So if before 0 is upper, after equals 0 equals so maybe I'll need to replace, I'll need to, but it just feels like it's too complicated to be the correct answer. thinking about creating a different loop. Creating a different array with the strings that I have, then replacing the letter. Creating a for loop and replacing the letter. In order to make it uppercase. Strings are immutable, right? That's the problem. So maybe if I do after dot split like this. And after 0 to uppercase. And after drop down. Why does this doesn't work? Maybe this one. I think I remember a challenge that it was a similar situation to this one. Oh, maybe I forgot this. Oh, there we go. That's why it wasn't working. So you should maintain the thing. Let's try. Yes, there we go. Returns a portion of the string starting at the specified index. Oh, I forgot to see that. Hints. So this is easier actually. It just makes the first application equals the first to uppercase, and then after that substring, and the rest from starting from 1. And then close this. Wow. This one's very
Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do a project called search and replace. So we want to perform a search and replace on the sentence using the arguments provided and return a new sentence. The first argument, so this guy, is the sentence to perform the search and replace on. So in this example, quick brown fox jumped over, whatever. Second argument is the word that you will be replacing. So this is what we'll search for. So we're going to be trying to replace the word jumped. And the third argument is what you will be replacing the second argument with. So the after, we're going to put need. Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do a project called search and replace. So we want to perform a search and replace on the sentence using the arguments provided and return a new sentence. The first argument, so this guy, is the sentence to perform the search and replace on. So in this example, quick brown fox jumped over there. Second argument is the word that you will be replacing. So this is what we'll search for. So it'll be, and then we'll handle the uppercase at the end. So I'm going to set the result equal to here, and so I can console log this. Result. Okay, so right now all we're doing is replacing the string. So I mean, this seems like a great opportunity to split the string into an array of strings, right? His name is Tom. I don't see any situations here where we can't just split the word with by finding the spaces. So we could say we're going to let the string collection equal the string dot split by, and we're going to split it by a space. So whenever there's a space, we're going to split, and then so the string collection will be a quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Those are individual strings within an array. And once we have an array to work with, we could go, let's first off, we'll do it in a for loop. So we're going to let I equal 0. I is less than the string collection dot length. And then we're going to iterate I by 1 each time. And then let's console.log this, and then we can console log the string collection at position I. And we'll not log the result right now. String collection at I.
Oh, this one's going to be hard. Already.
Oh, here we go. I need to have this. I've got it in brackets. It needs to be like that. Okay, so now we're going through and we're printing out this. So what we want to do is find out the before word, right? So is this equal to, what we're looking for is jumped. And so here we want jumped to be true. So we want to say, is the string collection equal to before? So this is going to be false, 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 true, false, 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 false. So now we identify the position. So we can create a conditional statement around there. So if this is the case, then what do we want to do? We want to say the string collection at I is equal to before. Oh, is equal to what? We want to make it so it's equal to leaped, which is being passed in as after. And then we return the string collection. But we don't want to just return the string collection, right? Because if we return the string as a collection, we return it as an array of strings, which is not a sentence. So we want to join the array using spaces. And now a quick brown fox leap over the lazy dog. And if we run tests, we see a lot of them pass. But here what we want to do is this should return, let us get back to more algorithms. So algorithms needs to be capitalized. So we need to do some sort of a conditional statement in here. So we could say, how do we say that? Like let's console.log the string collection again at position I. And how do you check to see, let's actually use, here we want, this is an example of the one that we're trying to work on. Now his name is Tom. Oh, I replace. This one is Tom, and we want to have Tom, and then John. His name is John. Okay, so what's happening here is we're console logging Tom. We're iterating through here, and then once we get to Tom, we're replacing it with John. But John needs to be uppercase. So how can we say, is Tom uppercase? So we could say string collection at position I, at position 0. That'll give us the T, right? And then is that equal to string collection dot to uppercase? That'll be true, right? Because because it is like the capital T is equal to a capital T to uppercase. So we can use that as a conditional. So if we're dealing with an uppercase letter, then we can say, oh, I think it's capitalized. Okay, you've got to use two uppercase. In some programming languages, you can use capitalize, but we can't do that here. So we want to say after. So what we're saying, if that letter is uppercase, well, what we want to do is we want to set after equal to after at position 0 dot to uppercase. So we're capitalizing the first letter, and then we're adding on after dot slice, from position 1 onwards. And so then we're getting John capitalized. And if we're going to test, that should pass all of them. Okay, cool. I hope that makes sense. I kind of jumped quickly through here. So this is basically like check is this like, so yeah, to refactor, we could say something like we could extract this into a separate function. So if we could call this one function like word is capitalized. We can set this and we pass in a word. Instead of string collection at I, we can just pass in the word. And then we want to return this. So this will return true or false based on whether or not the word is capitalized. And we don't pass in word, we pass in string collection at I. And yeah, so this will still work. So if word is capitalized. Now, another thing that I'm seeing is string collection. We're using this string collection at I multiple times. That is code smells to me. I think what we should do is say, we should let individual word equal the string collection at I. And then we can just use individual word throughout the code. And I think that makes it a little bit more explicit. His name is Tom. Individual word. If the individual word is equal to before,
I think I'm gonna.
That's right.
Do the other one already.
Here, just to see if this is printing out what we want it to.
All the way.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm running for each. We can pass it. We can do this as a helper function and then call this individual word. And then how does this work?
It's weird. Some of this was a lot easier for him than it was for me, but this one was easier for me than it was for him.
Oh, you know what? We need to map it. Is that right? Yeah, okay. We were using it for each, but what we need to do is map, which causes it to go through each one. And then, so now we're just using higher order function, and we're implicitly returning it, but we want to add the join here.
It really depends on the problem.
And we want to join it using a space. So now his name is John, and this will probably pass the test as well. So this is utilizing higher order functions, which is, I don't know, to me it's just a little bit trickier. I'm not necessarily sure that I would consider this to be an improvement. Another thing we could do is we could add another function here, capitalize word. And then pass in the word. And then we could just take this, throw it in here, return this, and then instead of after, we can just say over this is because I think it's useful to see how to refactor into these higher order functions, and then also how to extract code into here. So say this. So then we say, okay.
It's gonna launch the rest. Take each character, get its pair, and return the results as a 2D array. Base pairs are pair of AT and GC. Match the missing elements to the provided character. Turn the provided character as the first element in each array. So the second element on each array should be the pairing match. So C matches G and A matches D. The character and its pair are paired up in an array. And all the arrays are grouped into one encapsulating array. So I can create 4 if statements, one for each letter. I'm thinking about if I do a regex for AT, for example, how I'm gonna tell the program to replace with the other one, to match with the other one. For example, if it is a T and I have the regex AT pattern, I want to put with the A, but if it is an A, I want to put with the T. So how can I specify this? And the first thing I'm thinking about is split. Then I want to look through the string. Then I have the conditions. And I'm trying to think about if there's a way to do less conditions than to do for one for each letter. And I'm also not gonna be able to join them in one go. I need to first make them. I need to first make each of them into one specific array instead of having them in one array. Plus this doesn't work. How do I turn each element into an array? And splice, actually. Splice should do it, I think. Maybe we'll use a map actually. It's math though. Doesn't give me. Maybe I should put equal here. I should just do this. No one's nice. This is what I tried for. If I do like this, nice. Nice, there we go. I think before doing this I need to put them in pairs. So why is not pushing? Maybe using join is better. When your works arrays, I think. So maybe I would just push them in pairs like this first, and then I see what to do. So now I have the pairs. I just need to split them one by one. So I think what I will do is create a new loop here. Then I will split each one. you're
Aproveite o
gonna be
novo
done for
brilhante
today.
para diluir.
Well.
500 ml faz 3 litros e é fácil de usar.
Ter Oi Fibra é
Have to play
aproveitar 200 MB por R$ 99,90. Ficar todo mundo conectado ao mesmo tempo. Ter estabilidade e qualidade de verdade. É fazer as pazes com a internet. Oi Fibra.
Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do DNA pairing. The DNA strand is missing the pairing element. Take each character, get its pair, and return the result as a two-dimensional array. So we've got the base pairs are AT and CG. Match the missing element to the provided character. Return the provided character as the first element in the first array. For example, for the inputs is we want to return an array. So we might as well start by returning an array. Let's say initial. I'm going to change this to initial. Return the provided initial. Okay, so at least we have an array. And then what can we do with this array? Well, what we want to do is go through and add its pair to each one, right? So we can go dot map, and then we have initial pair, and we set that equal to here. Okay, so we're running. If we were to return initial pair right now, we would just still have the same thing, just the same split. But we don't want to do that, right? We want to figure out what's going on. We want to make return an individual array. So instead of initial pair, we could have our we could let our pair be equal to initial pair, and then I'm just gonna put the word pow in here for now. And that'll give us, and then we want to return pair. Okay, cool. So now we've got our data structured the right way, right? We've got a one big array, and inside we're passing in individual arrays with the G, and it should be paired up. But instead of pow here, we want it to say C. So how can we convert this? Well, initially I just want to take it out and do it in a separate function, right? So we can say function. Let's actually do it up here. So we can create a function and call it calculate pair, and we'll pass in the initial. Okay, so what can we do here? What we want to do is if initial is equal to A, then we want to return C, T. Else, if the initial is equal to T, and if it's C, we want to return G. And now we have a helper function, so we can say calculate the pair and put this in here, calculate pair, and pass in the initial pair. And it looks like we got the results. I'll run the tests. That passes. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, if I were to pass in this one, we would get the result of AT, TA, CG, GC, AT. I think that it makes sense to have this function outside of the pair elements function because we could use it perhaps later in a program. This pair elements function should just pair the elements. We could have calculate the pair. We could have our function of calculate pair outside of that function, and it would still work. But then this would be able to be utilized later in the program. Yeah, outside of that, I'm not really sure how else we could refactor this. I remember when I started programming, it was tricky to do the map, but I still think that that's the best way, and I don't want to go back and rewrite it with a lower level function at this point. So yeah, that's all passing. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next lesson.
Let's see the solutions here. No, just did it manually. Split, turn. The same thing. Okay, I'm done for today. I'll be back another time. And yeah, so see you.